There's this massive billion-dollar problem in Africa that leaves millions of people totally exposed to risk. But what if the solution isn't really about money at all, but about data? Today we're going to dig into how one company is trying to tackle this huge insurance gap.
1%. That one number, it pretty much tells you everything you need to know. That's the estimated insurance penetration in sub-Saharan Africa. I mean, that's a shockingly low number, right? And it points to this huge unsolved need across the market.
Okay, so this chart really puts that 1% figure into perspective. Just look at sub-Saharan Africa over on the far left. It's barely even on the chart. Now compare that to other emerging markets, or especially high-income markets where penetration is like 9 times higher. This isn't just a gap, you guys. It's a massive chasm.
All right, so let's dig into this. What's really going on with this gap? Why is it there? And why has it been so incredibly hard to close? The easy answer, the one everyone jumps to, is cost. And look, affordability is definitely part of the story. But the real problem, it runs so much deeper. It's something that money, by itself, just can't fix. Because what this is really all about is a deep, deep crisis of trust. And this isn't some new thing. It's a systemic problem that has basically paralyzed the entire industry for decades.
So what's fueling this crisis? Well, it's kind of this perfect storm, right? You've got painfully slow claims, really high costs, and a constant battle with fraud. But now, look over at the right side of this table. This is where it gets interesting. The solution? It's all about technology. It's about bringing radical transparency, better data, and just plain old hard evidence to the whole process.
And this right here, this is the vicious cycle in a nutshell. Okay, so on one side you have the insurers. They're dragging their feet on paying claims because, honestly, they just don't trust the data they're getting. They can't easily verify what really happened. Then, on the other side, you have the customers. For them, it feels like their claim just disappears into a black hole, and that completely destroys any trust they might have had. So, nobody wins. And this is the key takeaway, the big idea here. In this completely broken system, data has become the new currency of trust.
Okay, so if the problem is this deeply rooted in data and trust, it only makes sense that the solution has to be data-driven, right? So let's meet the company that's stepping up to take on this massive challenge.
This company is called EasyRide. And what's really important to know about them is that they're not some brand new, just out of the garage startup. No, they've got over a decade of real, on-the-ground experience. And now they're making this huge strategic pivot. They're transforming themselves into a tech company that's all about using AI and mobility data to fix this broken insurance system.
And this transformation, it's really profound. They're going from being a company that comes to rescue you on the side of the road to becoming a full-blown mobility intelligence platform. Think about that. It's a huge leap from just providing a service to providing the core data that can power an entire ecosystem.
And you might be wondering, is the market even ready for this? Well, oh yeah, it's hungry for it. Just take a look at Uganda. We're talking a 131% surge in microinsurance in just 1 year. That's not just growth, that is an absolute explosion.
So what does a number like that really tell us? It proves that people aren't against the idea of insurance. Not at all. They're just waiting for the right product. One that's actually relevant to their lives, priced fairly, and super easy to access. The demand is there, it's just been dormant, waiting for someone to unlock it.
So, the big question is, how exactly does EasyRide plan to unlock all that pent-up demand and, more importantly, rebuild that broken trust? Well, it all comes down to their new playbook. Their whole strategy really boils down to 3 main pillars. Step 1, create data that everyone, insurers and customers, can actually trust. Step 2, embed insurance everywhere. Make it a part of the services people already use every single day. And Step 3, own the first mile. Now, what does that mean? It just means being the very first person on the scene of an accident or incident, collecting rock-solid, undisputed information from the get-go.
And this next part, it's an absolute game changer. Think about it. Imagine tracking your insurance claim just like you track a package from Amazon or DHL. You get a single link, and it shows you every single step in the process, from the moment you report it to the moment the payment hits your account. This completely demystifies the whole thing and builds that trust that's been missing.
But it's not just about transparency. Better data also leads to much, much fairer pricing. Because by collecting all this information, we're talking everything from a car's maintenance history to a driver's actual habits on the road, insurers can finally start to assess risk on an individual basis. And that's huge. What that really means is that good, safe drivers no longer have to pay higher premiums just to subsidize the risky ones. It makes the whole system fair.
This quote right here really gets to the heart of their entire strategy. See, by owning that crucial first mile of data collection and verification, they stop being just another vendor you hire to do a job. Instead, they become mission-critical infrastructure. They become an essential, indispensable part of the insurance process itself, like the very foundation that everyone else has to build on.
And you have to understand, this is so much bigger than just selling more insurance policies. This is about fundamentally rewriting the entire relationship between people, the risks they face, and the financial protection they need.
And they are not thinking small. Their ambition is continental. So the roadmap looks like this. It all starts with building a solid foundation and a pilot program in Uganda. From there, they'll expand to create a regional hub. And the ultimate goal? To build out the infrastructure for this brand new model of insurance across the entire continent by 2030.
So what's the end game here? What does it all lead to? Well, the ultimate goal is to make insurance invisible. It's no longer this clunky product that you have to think about and buy once a year. Instead, it just becomes a seamless, supportive, almost automatic feature of your car or the loan you get for it or even the delivery service you use. It's just there.
So let's just end on that thought. What if insurance wasn't a product you have to buy? What if it was just a feature of the world you live in? Not a transaction based on mistrust, but an intelligent, data-driven safety net that's just always there, automatically making your life safer and more secure. That is the future that this new playbook is trying to build.